What's up everyone? In this video, I'm going to tell you my entire process of finding a reliable manufacturer for your clothing brand. Having a super good manufacturer for your clothing brand is one of the most important parts about running a clothing brand. If you don't have a good manufacturer, then you're just gonna have a hard time running your brand. A super good manufacturer with great communication and just great quality, they are the backbone of your business. So if you don't have one right now, I'm glad you found this video because I'm gonna show you guys my entire strategy of how I find good manufacturers. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. How to find a manufacturer for your clothing brand. Now, first off, you need to ask yourself, what is your actual goal with running a clothing brand and the type of clothes you do want to make? There's an endless amount of things you can make for your clothing brand: hoodies, t-shirts, jeans. You can make jewelry, accessories, belts. There's so much things you can make. So you got to figure out what you do want to make. So then you can look for a manufacturer that specializes in those things. So first off, are you looking for just screen printed designs? Just t-shirts with logos on them, maybe graphic tees, hoodies with logos on them? If that's the case, you just need screen print. Now, the good thing about just doing screen print is you can use local manufacturers. There is hundreds in every single city, just screen print businesses who screen print t-shirts and hoodies. If you find one of them, that's how you can start your clothing brand. You don't need to work overseas starting out. I know a lot of people say you need to be working overseas, but you really don't have to. Another thing that's super good about using a local printer is they have low minimums, probably quick turnaround times, only like 2 to 3 weeks max. They're gonna be cheaper than working overseas, but you don't really control much other than the design that goes on the t-shirt or hoodie. You don't get to change like the fitment or the measurements or anything like that. That is the only downside with that, but it is a very good first option. Now next is making the clothes yourself. This is how I started off. I made all my clothes by myself. I screen printed everything myself. I sewed everything myself. This is honestly a great way to start out your clothing brand. It gets you in the field, gets your hands dirty. You're not just coming into it blind. You actually learn how to make clothes. So I think this is a great option for people to start out with. Here's like a pair of jeans that I actually made myself when I started out. But there's a couple pros and cons with doing this. You can make pretty much anything you're capable of making. If you can think it and actually create it, you can make it and you can drop it. This will be the cheapest option. You can source blanks and just clothes from thrift stores and stuff like that, and just upcycle things at first. You get to build a skill that most other brand owners don't have, which is actually knowing how to make the clothes. Not many people know how to do that anymore. It can be very labor intensive. It does take time to make the clothes yourself, so you got to keep that in mind. But in my opinion, it's the most respected. People really value that, and they think it's awesome when you do make your own clothes. Now, the reason you're probably here is because you want to make cut and sew pieces working with manufacturers overseas. You don't care about screen printed tees in the US or making clothes yourself. You want to make them overseas, complete creative control. And this is where I'm going to help you guys out. So this is actually a pair of jeans that I got manufactured overseas. As you can see, my menu is insane. I know how to find a good menu. I know how to find one that has great communication, great quality. And if you want that too, keep on watching this video. So you will have 100% control. You get to design absolutely everything about your item that you're trying to make. It will take a long time to get your clothes made, probably 1 to 2 months. It is a long time, but for good reason. You have complete control. And it is expensive, but once again, you have complete control. You get to make exactly what you want to make. So to find a manufacturer, I'm sure you guys have heard of this app before, and if you somehow haven't, it's Alibaba.com. This is where all manufacturers are going to be. It gets a bad rep, but I'm not sure why. This is where manufacturers are. Alibaba.com. You're going to want to download this for free on your iPhone, your whatever phone you got. Alibaba.com, get it right now. So right here, this is what the main menu is going to look like. You might be a little bit overwhelmed. It's showing you a bunch of things that you don't even know what you're looking at. You don't got to worry about any of this. Just up here, you want to search for what you want to make. So if you want to make jewelry, search up jewelry. If you want to make a hoodie, look up a hoodie. For this case, I'm using jeans. We're just going to search up jeans. And this is what happens when you actually search something up. It starts to give you manufacturers already. It's showing you people who can make jeans. Now, there's going to be thousands of manufacturers that show up. You got to figure out how to decipher good ones versus bad ones. And I'm obviously going to tell you how to do so. And the first way to do it is by clicking on filters. Right here, this button is the filters button. You're going to want to click that and turn on trade assurance. So this is what that's going to look like. In the delivery by category, there's going to be trade assurance. Make sure trade insurance on. That's pretty much the most important step of this entire process. So what trade assurance actually is it allows you to get a refund if your bulk comes out incorrect or with major defects. So that's major. If you're starting out, you're a new clothing brand owner, you're scared of getting scammed, trade assurance will save your life. If you do get scammed, you get your money back. Alibaba will literally pay you back 100%. And also, if your bulk takes extremely long, like 4 or 5 months, way past due when it was supposed to come in, you can also get a refund for that. So trade assurance will save your life, and it just makes it a lot safer and easier of a process. So now what? We have trade assurance, we got a whole bunch of options for manufacturers. What do we do now? So this is what you guys need to be looking for in manufacturers. There's a lot of different things you should be looking out for. These, in my opinion, are the most important things to look out for. And if all these check out, then you might be able to use the manufacturer. So first off, years in business. You don't want to be using a manufacturer that has like 1 year in business that could possibly be a middleman. A lot of people will go on Alibaba and then pretend to be a manufacturer, but in reality, they're just a middleman to an actual manufacturer. So they're going to be charging you way more than if you had direct contact to the manufacturer. Store rating, all the stores will have a rating. Just make sure that it's probably above 4.5 stars. That's how you know that they're actually pretty good. Response time, it will tell you a response time, how long they actually take to respond. You want good communication. That's one of the most important things. So make sure they have a pretty low response time. And then reviews. If they have lots of reviews, check them out. See what other people are saying about this manufacturer. If they're good, then it's a good look. If they're bad, then it's a bad look. When you do click on a manufacturer, this is what it's going to look like. Right here is just a random manufacturer. You guys can check them out. I have no idea if they're good or not, but they honestly check out. 4.8 out of 5-star rating, pretty low response time. They have lots of reviews. Honestly, possibly a good option. And they have 13 years on Alibaba, so it's possibly a really good option. I have no clue, don't take my word on that, but that's how you want to review it. You want to look at all the information that they have available to you. So take your time with looking over manufacturers. You don't want to rush this. This is one of the most important parts of running a clothing brand, is having a good manufacturer. So you really can't rush this process. You need to take your time with it. Once you think you do have the right manufacturer, you need to find 10 to 20 of them and contact all of them. You need to weigh out your options. You need to see who's better than who. They all can make the same stuff, but it's about who can do it the most efficiently with the best communication and the best quality, and you need to dial it down to the best option. So how do you actually decipher who's a good manufacturer versus who's not a good manufacturer? It's these questions right here. You're going to ask every single manufacturer you hit up these questions. First off, what is their MOQ? That means minimum order quantity. You got to figure out what's the lowest amount you can buy from them to actually work with them. Some manufacturers, it's 50. Most of the time, it's going to be 100 if you're working with China, which you should be. Sometimes they might be like 500 to 1,000, and that's probably out of your range. So you got to ask, what's their MOQ? Now, this next question, they can lie about this, but it's good to get like a general idea, and that is, how long does bulk usually take? Some of them might say 2 to 4 weeks. Some might say 1 to 2 months. You got to figure it out. Like I said, they might lie, but they're going to give you an answer and you can see what they say. Now, this is probably the most important question, and that is examples of previous work for what you want. So if you're looking for jewelry, like I've been talking about, you need to ask for jewelry close to what you're trying to make. If you want to make jeans with a very specific wash, you need to ask if they have jeans with that wash. If they have previous work and you can see that they can do it, that's a very good sign that they'll be able to do it properly for you. But if they don't have previous work examples, then they might be doing it for the first try with you, and you don't want that. You don't want to be the test dummy. Next, ask them how long do samples usually take. If you're going to order a sample, you don't want to wait 2 months. It should only take like 2 to 4 weeks for a sample. So ask them that question as well. Now, this is also a very important question to ask, is pictures and videos of the factory. Like I said, there's many middlemen on Alibaba. There's probably more middlemen than actual manufacturers. It's just people trying to make money, being the guy in between, getting you to the manufacturer. If they can't show you pictures of the factory, then they might be a middleman. If they're avoiding that question, it's not a very good sign. Now, if you can get them to do this, and that is hopping on a call with you, that is your best sign to it being a good manufacturer. If they won't hop on a call with you, they might be sketchy, they might have bad English, they might be translating all your text throughout the whole conversation. If they can hop on a call with you and have a pretty good conversation, show you the factory, show you clothes, that's a great sign. That is a super good sign. I do that with my manufacturer. If your conversation with the manufacturer doesn't have pictures like this in it, then it's probably not someone you want to work with. This is literally my manufacturer right here. This is my boy. He's got my piece on right here. This is a sample he made for me, 6-shooter right there. Literally inside the office, inside the actual factory, he's actually working there. Right here is a picture of the actual factory. As you can see, it looks beautiful, super high quality, super clean. You know, it looks like very good work conditions. You need to be able to see pictures like this. And you want to almost build a friendship with the manufacturer. It is a business relationship, but you want them to like you and you want to like them. And if bro can't send you pictures of like his lunch, that he's out of the office and he's eating food with like a customer right here, then, you know, it's probably not the best sign. But if they can do all three of these things, provide pictures to you like this, then, you know, it's a very good sign. So hopefully you took my advice and you have about 10 to 20 manufacturers that you hit up. You need to dial it down to the top 3 that you think are the best fit for you. What you're going to do is go with the best option and keep the other few as backups. So at this point, you've gone through the process of finding a reliable manufacturer. You ask them all the good questions. You've seen their factory. You're having good conversation with them. They have good communication. That's very important. Now it's time to order a sample. Now, a lot of the weight of having a good sample first try is on you. You can't just rely on the manufacturer to make you a good sample first try. It honestly has a lot to do with you and what you send to them for examples, etc. So this is what you need to get a good sample on the first try. You need to have all these things right here. Don't skip out. If you want your sample to come out good first try, you don't want to waste money on a whole bunch of samples, send them all of these things. First off is a good mock-up. What this is going to do is show the desired end look, and it's a picture for them to follow. Take your time with this. Don't just send them some crappy drawing you did on like a piece of paper. You need to actually make a good detailed mock-up with stitching, washing, the shape, all the details. This is what they're pretty much going to follow for your end result. Next is a size chart. Don't let them pick sizing for you. They are most likely going to pick stuff you don't like. You need to send them every single measurement of your garment. Right here is an actual size chart I used for one of my samples. You need everything. Don't skimp out. Not only is it going to look how you want it to look, but it's going to fit how you want it to fit. So you need a size chart. Now this is super important, and that is references. You need references for all the details you want. If you want a specific wash, you need the reference. If you want specific buttons or tags, you need reference for those things. If they don't have references, they're just playing a guessing game. If you show them how it's supposed to look, there's a much higher chance that it comes out how you want it to the first try. Lastly is a tech pack. You want everything labeled on your items. You want them to know exactly how to make your clothes. You can't let them guess. If they guess, they're going to mess stuff up. If you tell them everything, you give them all the measurements, all the references, you give them everything I just showed you, it should hopefully come out close to what you want. And once again, this is a real life example of something I sent my manufacturer. And if you do send them all those things and you order your sample, this is how it should come out. Extremely close to what you actually want. Your sample should not take longer than 2 to 4 weeks. If they do, they're wasting your time. Samples don't take that long to make. My manufacturer sometimes makes samples in like under a week if it's something simple. If it's a crazy new pair of jeans with something like this, then yes, it might take 2-3 weeks. Not really any longer than a month. If it does, like I said, they're wasting your time. But this is very close to everything I sent them. Same washing, measurements, seam work, everything looked exactly how I wanted it to, and it's because I sent them all those details. Now, if you got to the point where you ordered a sample, you chose manufacturer, you spent money with them already, you need to review the entire process. Before you buy a bulk order, you need to make sure that you actually enjoyed how the process has been so far. So, how did the sample come out? Did it come out how you want? Is the quality good? Did it come in fast enough? Or did it suck? You got to figure that out. If it sucked, don't work with them. If it came in good, it came out close to how you wanted, super high quality, then that's a good sign. How was the communication? A lot of them can't speak English. There is a language barrier. My manufacturer can speak English, so we have perfect conversations. If they don't know what you're asking of them, then it's also not a good sign. They need to have good communication. And this part, very important, is how fast did they work? Did they lag? Did they waste time? Did it take 4 or 5 weeks for your sample to come in? If they did, not a good sign. If it came in quick, great sign. Now, lastly, do they seem like someone you want to spend years building a relationship with? Almost like a friend, not just someone who wants your money. Having a manufacturer that wants to be your friend, is cool with you, they follow you on Instagram, they're liking your posts and stuff like that, that is a manufacturer you want. I'm literally friends with my manufacturer. Like, we talk about cars, we talk about basketball, we don't just talk about work, and that makes our connection closer. So when we do talk about work, it's quick, it's good communication. He's down to just quickly go to the market and get me some buttons or something like that. If your manufacturer is just like, they just want your money, they're like, place the bulk order. If you try to have a conversation with them like outside of money and clothes, they don't really care, then, you know, they might be a good manufacturer still, but they're not as cool as they could be like a manufacturer like mine. Now, if everything went good and you enjoyed the sampling process, just communication was on point, sample was on point, speed was on point, everything was just super good, now it's time to actually order your bulk. So I'm going to tell you how to safely order a bulk order with a new manufacturer. you still got to be careful. Your sample came out good, but you haven't ordered a bulk order, so you got to do it safely. Having a good manufacturer relies on them, but it also relies on you a lot. What you're ordering through them, how you're communicating things with them, how good you are at getting your product made. They got to do the entire back end work of actually sewing and stuff like that, but how good are you relaying what you actually want? That's how you get a good manufacturer. A manufacturer who's actually good, but you being good at telling them what you want. And just so you guys know, I'm not just lying, making this stuff up. I really do this stuff. I'm in the trenches. I'm working on my brand every single day. I'm in my own studio right now. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with manufacturers. I've gone through many manufacturers, finding new ones and better ones, always upgrading. I'm doing this stuff. And here are actual bulk orders I've gotten. Right here, they're not all in the picture, but 250 jeans right here. This is like another 300 unit bulk order from a different time. I'm really doing this stuff. But for your first order with the manufacturer, you're going to want to order the lowest MOQ. Don't just come off rip ordering 200-300 units. You don't know how their bulk quality actually is. It might not be the same as the sample quality. Whatever the lowest MOQ is, order that. It's just the safest play. Next, order something on the simple side. Don't give them a super insane project. Give them something simple that's not too crazy. You can test their limits a little bit, but don't give them something that's going to cost $300 per piece and it's just absolutely insane. 10 different washes and 100 different buttons. Don't do that to them. Make a t-shirt or a simple hoodie and test their simple quality first, and then slowly over time build up. Next, do 50% down for them to actually start the bulk order, and don't pay the other 50% until they show you a picture of boxes like this, literally ready to ship out the door. This is gonna save you from them lagging on your order. If they get all your money at once, they're just gonna, take their time. They already have your money, so they don't gotta rush. But if you hold 50% from them, they have to get it done fast enough to get the rest of your money. Always be getting updates. Be asking them every 1 to 3 days for an update on the bulk order. One day the material might come in, and then one day they might be cutting and then sewing and then putting trims on. You just want to be seeing the entire process, make sure they're actually doing it. Lastly, pay through Alibaba. If you don't, you're not going to get trade assurance. So if they scam you, you won't get your money back. Don't pay through PayPal. Don't do a wire transfer. Pay through Alibaba. Now, your bulk order should not take longer than 1 to 2 months. If they are, then maybe you shouldn't continue to work with the manufacturer. Speed is money. Speed is how you grow. And if they are taking too long, you're not going to grow. They need to be making your clothes fast enough. Quality should match the sample to about 95%. Your bulk is never going to be exactly like your sample. If there's washing involved or something like that, it's not going to be 100% a match, but it's got to be close enough to what you sampled. So 95% is a pretty good number to be around. And then lastly, very minimal defects. Some of the clothes will be defective. It just happens. If you order 100 units, 2, maybe 3 will have a small rip in them or something like that. It's going to happen. You just have to quality check your own clothes. And if you do find mistakes like that, ask for compensation. If they won't give you compensation, don't keep working with them. But if they're down to give you a free sample or maybe some money off your next bulk order, that's a good sign. That's what you need. Now, here's an overview of your entire process. I've talked about a lot of information spewed at you at one time, but these are just some final notes that you guys need to think about. Only continue to work with the manufacturer if the process went smoothly, right? There's no bumps on the road. Communication was on point. They answered every single time you texted them. They understood your English. Communication's got to be good. Quality was high. There wasn't 50 mistakes out of 100 units. Clothes didn't shrink on you. The screen printing was good. Just gotta make sure that the quality was high. That's what you need. Bulk was on time with minimal delays. It's okay if a bulk is 1 to 2 weeks late, but not 1 to 2 months late. You don't want that. Pricing was good enough for margins. You gotta make money on your clothes. If they're charging $40 to make t-shirts, then you're not gonna be able to make money. But if they're able to give you cheap enough prices, $10 to $15 for a t-shirt, you get to sell for 40 to 50, that's good. You need your margins. And they're eager to build a relationship. They want to keep on working with you. They're when's next sample coming in? When's the next bulk order? They want to keep on just creating with you. That's a good sign. You want to be seeing that. You don't want them to just be one and done. They just want your money one time and then they're whatever. If all of these things were good, congratulations. Hopefully you have a good manufacturer that you can spend years working with and make hundreds of thousands of dollars working with. Now, unfortunately, things aren't that simple. I wish the manufacturing process was just amazing every time. Even when you find a good manufacturer that you think is good, that the bulk comes out good. There's almost always going to be problems and issues that you're going to have to overcome. You just got to get as close to a perfect manufacturer as possible. But if there was major problems, you're gonna have to start over. It's unfortunate, it wastes time, it wastes money. You gotta go through the whole process again of finding a manufacturer. Hopefully you use those backups. If you did save those backups, like I said, you can go and use them. But it sucks. If there was major problems, it's never fun. I've had major problems before, and that's why I'm teaching this video, so you can avoid those major problems to the best of your ability. So now what? You watch this whole video, you're ready to go find a manufacturer. What do you gotta do? Besides the entire process I just taught. You're going to have to spend the next year testing manufacturers until you finally land a good one. Very high chance that your first manufacturer is not going to be your forever manufacturer. I'm actually on like my 6th or 7th manufacturer. It took me like 3 to 4 years to find this perfect one. So many manufacturers I've had problems with before. I've had ones where I worked with for like a year, but then they ended up having problems towards the end of the relationship. You're gonna have to just take the time, bite the bullet, bite the cash that you might possibly lose, and test until you find a really good manufacturer like I did. It may take thousands of dollars in failed samples and defective bulks. It will more than likely happen. You're not going to get a perfect manufacturer first try. It really does not happen. It's just part of the game. It's just a part of the process of building a clothing brand and getting a good manufacturer. You just kind of have to deal with it. Now, if this sounds like it sucks, which it does suck, you can actually skip the entire process of finding a reliable manufacturer and losing all that money with something called Urban Unity. So what Urban Unity actually is a community that I built with 4 other clothing brand owners to teach the next generation of clothing brands. When I started out, I wished there was a program or a community that I could join similar to this, so I thought, why not build the perfect one to give as much value to the world as possible? Now, there's an entire list of reliable manufacturers inside of Urban Unity. It's just one of the many, many things that we offer. We want you guys to start off properly, so we built a list of like 20 plus manufacturers who are trustworthy, who aren't going to scam you, who are going to give you perfect bulks every single time. And that's just a crazy resource that I wanted people to have. Now, here are just some of the results of the people in the community. We do have close to 200 people in there already, and there's people ripping, getting crazy results with their clothing brands. This is Tyler right here. He got 1 million views on one of his first videos building his personal brand, which is just crazy. I'm so happy for him. He also hit 10K followers only a couple days later. Now, right here, we have Randy, who did $44,000 in his first month of running a clothing brand inside of my community. I didn't even do that much in sales the first year of running my clothing brand, and he's doing it in his first month, all because he joined Urban Unity. You're not going to get there without the help of mentors steering you in the right direction, giving you manufacturers that you need, telling you how to drop properly, entire strategies. We have it all laid out for you perfectly, so you literally cannot fail on your first few collections. Right here, we have Umar just shipping out hundreds of orders at 3 a.m., just crazy night. And then one of my favorites right here is Braden. He did $5,000 in under an hour. It's just insane. I'm so happy that there's so much value going around in this community where people are getting real results, straight up changing their lives, making so much money with running a clothing brand. Now, not only are there resources available to you guys, such as manufacturing lists, designers, so much more that you actually need to run your clothing brand. You have access to 5 extremely successful clothing brand owners who are going to coach you every single week. What we do is every night, one of us do an hour-and-a-half call with the entire community. We teach a lesson and then go one-on-one diagnosing everybody's brands. You literally get to talk one-on-one with every single coach every single week. You will have us in your pocket just teaching you, growing you, building you up to where you're doing 10K plus months every single month, literally changing your lives. We have had so many people do it in the community, and it's just going to keep on growing. We're just going to keep on helping more and more people. And you could possibly be next, but here are just some of the coaches. Of course, you have me. I started my clothing brand with no personal brand, just grew it completely organically. Now I'm at the point where I'm doing 20K months consistently every single month. It is my full-time job. I don't work for anybody. This is what I do, and it is a blessing that I'm able to do it. Then you might have seen this guy before, Marshall Cruz. This guy is a beast. I cannot believe he's even in the community. He's one of the coaches. He does millions, I literally mean millions of dollars in sales with his community. He has a personal brand of over 350,000 followers, and he is there to teach you guys everything he knows. Next, we have Kali. He is another multi-6-figure clothing brand owner. He has worked with so many brands. He's designed for many brands, and he has been coaching for a very long time. Just another super good coach inside the community. Lastly, no other community has somebody like this, and it is Nick. He is our Shopify expert. He is going to tell you everything you need to know for your Shopify store. It's one of the hardest parts of having a proper clothing brand, maximizing for conversions, having proper systems in place, SMS, email marketing, shipping properly, anything you could possibly think of with the Shopify store, Nick is your guy and he is a beast with it. Now we have one more coach that we brought on, but it's Eben Corona. He has his own clothing brand. He's super similar to me. Grew his brand to doing multiple six figures in sales a year. He is also a beast and he is here to help you out as well. Now, if this is something you guys are interested in, you want us in your back pockets, you want us helping you, steering you in the proper direction and getting you to a point where you're actually succeeding. Maybe you've been failing for years. Maybe you're scared to take that step and actually start. This is going to be the resource that actually gets you to succeed. And I can promise you that this is the best clothing brand community on the market. Nothing compares to this. And I completely stand behind that. I've been coaching in this community for multiple months now. It is the greatest thing I've seen in this industry. So if this is something that you're interested in, check the link in the description. We have an application that you can fill out and apply to join the community. Take like 15 to 20 minutes to fill out the application, give us all the information we need from you. And if you are a good fit for the community, we are going to reach out to you and give you the opportunity to join. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you can go out and find your own manufacturer. If you want to skip that process, check out joining Urban Unity. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Later, y'all.